Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, fellow Marines, sailors, veterans, 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines, American Battalion! Good evening! It is a tremendous honor to stand before you tonight as we celebrate the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps! I left active duty 18 years ago as a very cunning and deceitful, knuckle-dragging staff sergeant. I never imagined that I'd be here addressing a room full of, by God, good-looking warfighters, better-looking girlfriends, great-looking wives. Tonight, we celebrate 250 years of tradition, honor, and brotherhood. 250 years of speed, surprise, and violence of action. 250 years of hunting our nation's enemies and bringing chaos to their doorstep. But also, 250 years of waking up at 03 so we could go to the armory and stand by to stand by. Let's go! 250 years of getting a haircut every Sunday afternoon, whether we needed one or not. And 250 years of trying to not to get caught with our nasty hands in our pockets. To all the Marines, sailors, and most importantly, the spouses of the war machine here tonight, I want to remind you of something. No one gets here by taking the easy road. No one gets here by ringing the bell or by dropping our request. We're here because at some point in our lives, we chose the hard road. We chose the Marine Corps. What I've learned along that road is that once you've walked that hard road, everything in life feels easy. The Marine Corps is not for the weak or faint of heart. The Marine Corps is that salty taste of sweat from doing 1,000 8-count bodybuilders at the K ranges in August. It's a 24-hour convoy from Basra to Numania when all you have to stay awake is a can of Copenhagen and stale black coffee. It's the smell of the well deck, CLP, and JP8, and somehow it evokes a new and strange homesick feeling, but you kind of miss it. It's a dawn raid after an 18-click foot movement in Afghanistan, where the bond between Marines isn't spoken, it's earned. And it's a rough-running jungle boots from French Creek to Onslow Beach and back with 50-pound packs. That's the hard road. And we didn't just survive it, we defined it. That road taught us what brotherhood really means. The hard road gives you perspective. It gives you gratitude. Gives you humility. You learn that discomfort is temporary, and easy isn't something that you find, it's something that you earn. Mark my words, the hard road that you're on right now, it's changing. Not just how you walk, or talk, or stand, but how you see the world. It burns away excuses, it strips away fear. It teaches you that when things fall apart, you maintain your composure, because you know what hard is, and that you can handle it. You stop chasing titles. You stop worrying about what lesser men think. You learn to value character over comfort. And you carry yourself with that quiet, serial killer level confidence that only Marines understand. That's what the hard road does. It builds unbreakable humans. And now, as we celebrate 250 years of our beloved Corps, you carry that legacy forward. The hard road that you are walking on isn't just for you, it's to prepare you to lead, to raise better sons and daughters, to serve your communities as football coaches, shop teachers, business owners, mentors, and older brothers and sisters, to make the world in your own way a little better than what you found it. We don't need to tell people we're Marines, although we may like to. And I may have mentioned it to one or two ladies over the years. They can tell. They see how we handle pressure, how we treat people, how we show up when things get tough. That's the mark of the hard road. It never leaves you. Speaking of hard roads, 2 weeks ago I completed my 9th Marine Corps marathon in Washington, D.C. And I did it side by side with your battalion commander. Well, who am I kidding? The only reason we were side by side is because he chose to run by my side to make sure that I crossed the finish line. Your old man is still a PT freak of nature. I served with Lieutenant Colonel Willis in a forced recon platoon 20 plus years ago, back when he was a staff sergeant with a slightly better haircut. He and I had the pleasure and privilege of serving side by side with some of the smartest yet most violent, barrel-chested freedom fighters that this world has ever known. Unfortunately, many of these men now reside in Section 60 at Arlington. There are now statue, training facilities, and marksmanship awards at MARSOC named after these legendary raiders and reconnaissance Marines. Lieutenant Colonel Willis and I endured some of the toughest, most dangerous training that the Marine Corps had to offer. We jacked steel together, we broke bread together, we pounded a lot of pavement together, and we deployed to Iraq together. He pushed me to be better in every manner of my existence, and now he's pushing you. Gentlemen, I can't think of a better man, Marine, or Mustang to lead this generation of warriors into battle. And to quote the words of General Douglas MacArthur, a true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. Well, sir, I've known you and called you a dear friend for the better part of 25 years, and I think that quote sums you up quite nicely.
Nice.
Look around the room, from Lance Corporal Schmuckatelli to Gunny Highway and everyone in between. Whether you're an 03 gunfighter, a 7-ton mechanic, or a bulk fuel specialist, get to know one another tonight. Because when the next inevitable conflict calls upon you, all you'll have to rely on is the man or woman next to you and your rifle. Someday, when you're a gray-bearded veteran, many aspects of the Marine Corps may feel like a distant memory to you. Conversations about your military service with your civilian friends may feel like trying to explain a kaleidoscope to a blind man. But there's one thing that you'll never forget, and you'll 100% be able to communicate effectively. And that's how much the men and women to your left and to your right meant and still mean to you. No amount of antidepressants that the VA could ever prescribe can replace the healing power of brotherhood, camaraderie, and loyalty. Whether you spend 4 more years or 40 more years in that ridiculously handsome uniform of yours, hear this. When you hang it up for the last time, I challenge you to approach every chapter of your post-Marine Corps life with the same tenacity and fortitude as you did when you were carrying a platoon guide on, leading your company on a 6-mile beach run in your best pair of extra medium silkies. The universe puts a lot of pressure on men to do better. You'd better do a good job. The Marine Corps harnesses that pressure and has made it their way of life. It's tattooed on your soul. You'll never escape it, nor should you want to. When I left active duty, I didn't hang up what the Corps taught me. I carried it into everything that I touched. Discipline, attention to detail, and the refusal to quit are the same principles that helped me build businesses that have employed dozens of veterans and voluntarily run a nonprofit that has served hundreds of active duty service members, veterans, and their families. After quite some time now on the other side of the fence, and with the ability to remain connected to my military community through nonprofit initiatives, I've realized this: the brotherhood never ends. When Marines transition, we don't fade away, we evolve. We find new ways to lead, new ways to serve, and new ways to make a difference. That's what the uniform gave me. Not just memories, quite a few aches and pains, but a mission that still continues. It continues. continues as I coach youth sports and mentor young men while doing my best to spread the gospel of mental toughness and traditional masculinity. Tonight, we raise a glass to 250 years of esprit de corps. Sailors, thousands of friends. Remember what this road has given us. It gave us grit. It gave us purpose. It gave us each other. And it gave us the unshakable truth that after you've been a Marine, no challenge in life can break you. So stand tall, make it count, and carry the torch for the next generation because they are looking at you for the example. And I can't think of a better way to celebrate 250 years of warfighting excellence than to do it in a room full of rough, tough, and rugged infantrymen with the cleanest bodies and the filthiest minds in the world, led by a commanding officer that, in my opinion, is the epitome of a leader whose stellar reputation of being not only a man to emulate, but a man to follow. Someone whom I trust with my life, my money, and on a good day, even my wife. To the core, to the hard road, and to everyone who's ever walked it, Semper Fi!